Talking about cloud security, it's all about protecting our cloud resources. We know that. It's about ensuring data integrity and compliance and managing user trust. We know that the trust is closely related with the business. And there are quite a few reasons which I think are responsible for cloud security breaches. And based on my experience, I've listed 4 here. Outdated policies and insufficient training, which is part of your lack of security awareness. Data integrity risks, which actually consists of data corruption and unauthorized access. Human error, which actually is mostly related to negligence and misconfiguration. And compliance challenges, which consists of audit failures and regulatory challenges. There are quite a few common threats and vulnerabilities in cybersecurity, which I'm sure you have been hearing it from since morning. I have listed a number of them here, starting with data breach, misconfiguration, insecure API. Just in case if you have to integrate your cloud applications with your in-house applications. I'm sure everybody has this kind of a requirement where they have to integrate in-house applications with cloud applications, and you don't have the sufficient number of APIs on the cloud applications. Insider threats. It could be privilege abuse or misuse, lack of visibility on your applications, lack of visibility on the number of cloud infrastructure that you have, poor access management. I keep telling this to all my audience. You don't need to have 24/7, 365 access to all your cloud applications as administrators. You probably have to think, why do you need 24/7 access? You probably have to time the access for your technicians. Phishing attacks, denial of service attacks, dynamic denial of service attacks, account hijacking, malware, and data loss, which we are all familiar with. I don't have to give you the explanation for each of these here, but these are the common threats and vulnerabilities that you see in cloud security. What are those safety measures that you have to do in cloud security? Just that we know what are the threats, you definitely have to work on addressing these threats too. Those are the safety measures is what I'm going to cover in my slide here. Starting with encryption. We all know that encryption happens for the data at rest. When the data reaches the destination, it is fine. But what happens during transit? You definitely have to encrypt the data in transit as well. The next one is intrusion detection, which monitors your complete cloud infrastructure for suspicious activities. Advanced firewalls, which helps you to block unauthorized access while permitting safe traffic. Event logging. As you do it for all your on-premise solutions, you definitely have to log all those events from your cloud applications and cloud service as well. I'm sure you all know about CASB, Cloud Access Service Secure Broker. You definitely have to include this as part of your IT strategy. Compliance. You have to adhere to your industrial compliance, your regional compliance, international compliance as well, like ISO 27001, or industry compliance like HIPAA, PCI DSS, and so on. Physical security. Who gains access to your cloud data center? And most importantly, MFA, multi-factor authentication. A single level of authentication is absolutely not enough to access your cloud resources, so you probably have to look in for an added layer of security. So these are the standard safety measures that you come across in cloud security. What are the key principles of cloud security? That is something which you have to definitely understand before you strategize how are you going to implement the security aspects in your cloud environment. You first have to start with the CIA triad, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That's exactly where you have to start with, followed by data in transit protection, operational security, which includes vulnerability management, threat assessment and mitigation, configuration and change management, and incident management techniques. The fourth one is where you have to ensure the shared responsibility between your customers. That is where you have the customer separation. Identity and authentication is the fifth one. Sixth one is a secure user management. resilience and data disaster recovery, and finally centralized management. So you have to have a complete control over all cloud infrastructure components, starting with who's accessing what, when, why, how, and you have a common console which gives you full stack visibility on what is being done in your cloud environment. So these are the key principles of cloud security based on what I have come across in my experience dealing with cloud management vendors. Now, what are the strategies for a robust cloud security? We're first going to start with enforcing MFA, multi-factor authentication. You enhance the access security with multi-factor authentication. Just don't have email and SMS-based authentication. Have a Google Authenticator or a Q&A or YubiKey, whatever extra added layer of security, radius authentication. Add an extra layer of security to access your resources and apply this concept of principle of least privilege. You start with the least privilege for accessing your resources and then enhance the privileges as and when it is required. It all depends on your just-in-time privilege escalation. Encrypt data, as I said in the previous slides, encrypt data at rest as well as in transit. Monitor activities. This is quite important. You just can't leave your activity or your session as it is open to every other user in the network. So you definitely have to monitor your user activity. Privileged user activity is more important because we are all coming with the privileges. Administrators always come with a privilege. So we definitely have to understand what kind of privilege activity is being done on those sessions. Patching the software. Your cloud applications, your cloud servers, they do need patching as we do for all those workstation servers at your own data center. So you definitely have to keep all the software up to date with the latest patches, with the latest security patches. Conduct audits periodically and train your team. This is more important. Train your team on the latest security policies, latest security guidelines, and give them impart training on the latest technology trends too. Finally, incident response. How do you address those security incidents which are being reported on your cloud environments? Try to introduce SOAR capabilities, security orchestration and automated response. You know what has to be done for quite a number of security incidents which are being reported. So you're going to implement all those as part of your cloud security strategy. Now, we all know it's completely impossible to provide a wholesome cybersecurity solution or a cloud security solution just by one management vendor or just by one solution. So we probably have to start at multiple phases. We have to identify the phases of defense mechanisms, starting with cloud security controls, CASB, and cloud workload protection platform. Host security, which also includes your host intrusion detection system, EDR, and anti-ransomware and malware. Identity access management, which provides MFA, POLP, that is principle of least privilege, and role-based access control. User awareness, which includes training them on all your security policies. Data security, which includes your DLP, data loss prevention, backup and recovery. Network security, which includes all your IDS and IPS solutions, your VPN, your firewalls, and so on. And monitoring and incident response, which is part of your SIEM strategy. SIEM, Security Information and Event Management, as you all know. It also has to include threat intelligence, which can integrate with threat intelligence platforms like OpenVault, Styx, Taxi, and so on. Now, talking about the latest trends in cloud security, we probably have to include automation and AI. So there are three stages, which is what I see when it comes to automation and AI in cloud security. Starting with enhanced threat detection and prevention. As I said, it has to definitely integrate with all your threat intelligence platforms, OpenVault, Styx, Taxi, and so on. It has to have a real-time analysis using AI algorithms, predictive capabilities based on historical data, automated threat hunting for scanning unknown threats in your network. The second one is automated incident response and remediation. You have to contain all those instant threats by triggering predefined responses like isolating compromised accounts or reduce response times to identify and contain and remediate security incidents. You have to reduce human errors and prioritize alerts when it comes to automated incident response and remediation. The third one, streamline cloud security management, which includes your automated vulnerability management. Identify those vulnerable loopholes. For example, someone still keeps the password with 8 characters. It's no longer 8 characters. It should somewhere be between 15 to 16 or 15 to 20 is what the latest security guidelines say. And compliance automation and resource optimization. So all this is included as part of your cloud security management. Now, if you're looking for a solution which can actually provide you with all those strategies or all those security policies that you have to implement, you can probably look at Manage Engine. Manage Engine provides a 360 solution-based approach in managing your cloud infrastructure as well as your on-premise infrastructure. We start at the operational layer. We provide solutions for monitoring your key components like infrastructure, data, device, and identity. Then we go to the functional layer, where we help you manage, monitor, automate, and secure your infrastructure. We help you with multiple functions. Say, for example, you want to monitor your Microsoft 365 and as well as do a backup. You don't have to depend on 2 different solutions. You probably can combine them into one. Or if you have to monitor your complete network infrastructure from a cloud-based solution provider, yes, we do. And then at the services layer, that's exactly where we use all those technology trends like AI and AI-driven decision-making processes, which helps you with decision intelligence. And then at the solutions layer, we provide unified solutions for monitoring your complete infrastructure. So talking about Microsoft 365, we have one solution which actually helps you with all the license management, user management, and backup and recovery, single sign-on, self-service password reset. And then talking about endpoint management, we have configuration of your endpoints, software installation and uninstallation, patch management, and adding an extra layer of security for endpoints like application control, device control, data loss protection, browser control, or talking about anti-ransomware or antivirus. Yes, we do as part of a single package. So with that being said, I'm just going to end my presentation here. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful journey. And just to summarize, you definitely need a unified solution for managing your cloud infrastructure. Understand the basics of cloud security and start implementing your strategies in such a way that you know what is being done, and ensure that you give the right access for your right people at the right time for the right reasons. Thank you so much, guys.